Good evening and welcome to Dozzers Football Stand, ladies and gentlemen, on this Sunday afternoon. Great to have your company. I don't know why they call it Sunday, might as well be Wayne Day because it's raining down here. But great to have your company anyways. Thank you very much for joining us. Great to see you all once again. Apologies, by the way, about yesterday's stream. Unfortunately, connection... it didn't go according to plan. I had to delete the stream, unfortunately, because it kept saying we were live when we weren't. So the only way of stopping that by doing that, unfortunately. So a bit annoying, but it's one of them things, unfortunately. First of all, do you know what you call someone who stands to goalposts and stops the ball from rolling away? Oh dear me. There's the first punter tonight. Let's introduce tonight's guest, Mr. Owen Coyle. Hopefully will be joining us after. But first of all, making his debut on the channel, it's Arsenal, nearly one clubs. It's Arsenal Middlesbrough. Right, I'll try that again. Good start. Right. Making his debut on the channel is a guy who's been able to speak to football royalty, actually. He's managed to speak to the likes of Jimmy Redknapp, Alan Shearer, and, of course, me. It's Mr. Baker Lillyvick. How are you?
Very good, thanks, Dazzy. Thanks for having me on tonight.
Yeah, I managed to get the intro done I got the intro done in the end. We got there in the end. Got my teeth in the wrong place, but there you go. Ah, there. And joining us once again, it's the man himself from Plymouth. It's Mr. Liam Martin. Hello, mate.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Not too bad, yes, not too bad. Just about recovered from that 4-0 yesterday, because I don't think anyone expected that, but it's one of them things. And also, it's our biting expert, it's Garrick. How are you, pal?
I'm all right. Cheers for having me on.
Good to hear. Just getting notification from Liam. Good to hear. Yes. Right, thanks for joining us tonight, lads. Great to have you on, as usual. And without further ado, let's get straight into the live chat. You can get your comments in the live chat, ladies and gentlemen. Do like the stream as well. The usual target, 10 likes as always. And get involved in the live chat. Be good to hear what you guys have to say. First of all, Mr. Scotty B, for some reason his comment didn't come up on stream yet. But he's gone, hello, famous man, just flying in. What's the famous dinner? And he said, I'm flying out now. Well, yeah, I mean, that was quick, wasn't it? Yes. Good to see you for about a second, wasn't it? Yeah, famous dinner. I've had another Asda pizza as usual. Well, not as usual. I have them like once a week. Had an Asda pizza and the famous Iron Brews here. Got that ready, of course, as per usual. Liam's just disappeared for the moment. He said he'll join back in a second. Always crackling. I'm not even moving the mic. Being close to the mic for storage. Okay then. No idea then. Liam's obviously gone into live chat as well. Good afternoon. And welcome to this guy who I don't recall ever seen in the live chat before. Samo Jamo 123. Thoughts on Joelinton being linked to Brentford for 50 million. We'll get onto that in a bit. You know him, like.
Yeah, I know. It went to my previous club, so. Yeah.
I wondered. I was going to say, I'd never actually seen him in the channel before. Welcome if you are new, though. Do subscribe down below for more. For the regulars, by the way, this is the final episode before the 23rd of May. Obviously, as you know, I'm heading off for my birthday, which comes up in literally in 12 days' time, actually. So I'm looking forward to resting up a bit after the Euros as well. But we'll get straight into it. Let's talk a bit about the Euros, of course. Then we'll get into all the transfers, etc. later on in the show. England, I mean, certainly surprise package in this tournament, I have to say. The group stages, I don't think there was a single game where I thought, yeah, it's been a great game. They were all boring matches. The only game I didn't think was particularly brilliant either. And then yesterday, we go and score the same amount of goals in one game that we have in the last couple of games. 8 goals in 5 games, and we are the only team at the minute who have we're the only team to have not conceded in any of the first 5 games in the tournament. So that's something, isn't it? I'm not sending the link out to anyone because I've already got 5 guests on. And, well, I've got 4. Liam's just off and on the minute, and I'm waiting for. Actually, I was just saying I'm waiting for Owen. He's just arrived now. Actually, evening, Owen.
Yeah, sorry I'm late, Darryl. I was in a bit of a pickle there. Yeah.
Did you forget by any chance?
Well, I forgot, and then I was thinking you sent me a video call, and I thought it was going to be on a video call. Then I realised on StreamYard, so I've been typing in the link in my computer.
Yeah, right. You can have 10 if you can have 10 if if you pay for it. It's only up to 6 on the actual free version. The free version I have says I can only have 6 people, up to 6 people on there. But we've got 5 on anyway when Liam comes back, so it's one of the things. Anyways, as we were talking about the Euros, England seem to be causing a couple of problems, aren't they? Anyone want to go first? Talk about it, or?
Well, I thought last night England looked phenomenal. Well, not phenomenal as such, but I think it was probably the best performance we've shown yet this tournament. I think Maguire coming into the team has been a massive difference. Shaw was fantastic, and I think that goal against Germany on Tuesday, I knew it would just put Kane's confidence up so much, and he just delivered last night.
Yeah, I mean, he played superb last night. Talking like, I was debating over man of the match. For me, I gave it to Luke Shaw.
Yeah,
we all agree. Form from him, 2 brilliant crosses, the assist king in the team, and he's actually got the same amount of assists now as Jack Grealish. And I think Jack Grealish, I don't understand why Jack Grealish is not starting when he's probably the biggest attacking threat really for England. But at the same time, you don't change a winning formula. That's what they all say. Right, Liam's back in now. We have got 5. Here we go. We've got all 5 now. We're just talking was Baker's just mentioned about Harry Kane. Actually, right. What were your thoughts on the England performance last night? Oh, he's muted his mic. I'm mad.
I didn't realise you.
Just as I said that.
I didn't realise you was talking to me then. I thought you were talking to one of them lot. But yeah. England performance last night. Very, very clinical. Very good from Harry Kane in particular. Very good from Luke Shaw in particular as well. But Harry Kane finally turning up. He decides to turn up in the knockouts for some reason. But very good from all of them, to be honest. Very happy for Jordan Henderson in particular because it's his first goal for England, and if I have to give a man of the match, I'll give it to Luke Shaw. Not because I'm biased or anything, but we just
said Luke Shaw there, so we just said Luke Shaw.
Putting 2 great crosses to one for Harry Kane and was it 2 for Harry Kane?
No,
because the first one was last Sterling. It was Fridge and Kane.
Yeah.
£8 million is quite expensive for Fridge. Get 100 quid in this area. Right. Yes, there we go. Yes. Anyway, finish what you were saying anyway.
Yeah, as I was saying, overall good performance. I reckon if we take it into the Denmark game, we're going to smash them and get through to the final.
Smash them?
Yeah, I think it all depends on how we turn up. Because if we don't turn up, if we don't play properly, then we're not going to get very far. Let's be honest. If we don't turn up, in these knockout games are very important. You have to turn up. I've just realised if I do this, it's much better actually. Trying out the different effects these days. But I'll come to you next. Don't worry, Garrick, I haven't forgotten you. Owen, what did you make of yesterday?
It was probably more than we expected, considering the games we had before. It seemed like we didn't go much further once we got the 1-0, but the formula's working. And it was solid, and it's a great result going into the Denmark game, which will be very important and one of our best chances, you would think, to get to the final or even win this tournament, maybe for decades long.
I mean, you have a point, really, because I said to Liam earlier on today, because me and Liam were talking about, we were previewing along with Niall, who's a Plymouth fan that Liam knows. We were talking about the semi-finals, and Liam will probably back me up on this, but I think I remember saying in your stream that we'll have a chance of winning the tournament.
Say again, Denmark? Yeah. You say Denmark?
I said we won't. England won't have a better chance of winning the Euros than this year.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
we've got probably the easiest route.
We had that in 2018.
We
had that in 2018, but it backfired, didn't it?
And we still didn't win. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're better.
Owen. Owen, what did you make of that?
Oh, all right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I think that I think it was surprisingly comfortable, because usually whenever we play England in a quarter final is never comfortable, regardless of who we're playing. And I mean, Ukraine offered pretty much nothing apart from Jurenchuk going through. They didn't really. I don't even remember a shot they had in our goal. Apart from, I think there was one with Pickford parried in the second half. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think a lot of credit has to go to England. Not everyone says Ukraine are rubbish, but we made them look like really bad. It was, Luke Shaw, as I said, man of the match. I've got to agree. I thought Declan Rice played all right as well. I thought he went under the radar, but as long as Kane can carry on his form, I think we'll make the final definitely, because have for us. If we can get the ball to Harry Kane in the box and he's on form, then it's going in the back of the net. If we've all watched the Premier League, we know it's going to go in the back of the net. So yeah, I think the only problem we might have with Denmark is there's a bit of destiny about them. There's obviously with the Eriksen thing, it just there's a massive sort of amount of there's a big storyline around them, at the moment, and that could be the thing that even though football's not played with storylines, it's like they sort of I don't know, there's sometimes in the Euros just the story ends up being the big thing. But yeah, I think against Denmark we shouldn't have we shouldn't have too much of a problem if we turn up, but that's a big if with England. But I think if we're talking about the Ukraine game, which I think the question was about the Ukraine game, I think it's probably bordering on our best performance of the tournament, because I think against Germany, we got a little bit lucky with the Müller missed chance, but here we didn't really get lucky at all. We were clinical, brutal, and it's as everyone's been saying, it's our best chance I can think of since '66 to win a tournament. I think maybe '96 actually, but even then that was Germany in the semi-final. So yeah, I mean, I've got to say, I think it's coming home, lads.
Yeah, we'll soon see about that. Let's hope so. Let's just hope so. Another thing I want to say is, obviously, Nick Muller, by the way, has just joined us today. I'll be at Wembley for both of the semi-finals. Ipswich were all, don't think so. And Denmark goalkeeper is good. Yeah, Kasper Schmeichel, we all know what he's capable of. I mean, he also makes it done, I think, with the goal they conceded against Czech Republic. But am I the only one, by the way, who thought that the result was harsh on Czech Republic? Because I thought Czech Republic were the better side against Denmark.
No, you're not the only one.
I'll take that as a yes then.
I thought Denmark looked better in the early rounds than they did yesterday. I think they might have peaked. I think that might help us. I think Denmark have peaked in this tournament. That's probably going to come back and bite me, but I think they've peaked.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've been good all tournament. I mean, I think it's only since that first game. As soon as the Christian Eriksen thing happened, which don't go into too much, that happened, and then I think there's been more team spirit in that Denmark squad since that happened. They're showing more determination. They want to win this for not just their country, but for Christian Eriksen as well. How do you guys think we'll play against Denmark? We'll start with Baker actually.
Well, if I'm being honest with you, I think this could be one of the trickiest games yet. I think we could possibly concede to Denmark because in the previous games they do from, I think is it Mailer or someone, but they do put it
Mailer,
on.
yeah.
Obviously, we've kept 5 clean sheets so far, which if we went and won the tournament and done it without conceding a goal would be brilliant. But I think Denmark are going to give more of a fight than Ukraine did. I think it will be a tricky game. I think with the firepower we have got in our team, I do fancy us to get the win. But I think it's going to be 2-1, and I can see us potentially conceding our first goal of the tournament in that game. But I think it's going to be a trickier game than Ukraine was.
Yeah. I'll just let you know, by the way, but if England, I mean, I don't know because I do think we'll concede sooner or later, but if England were to go and win the actual tournament without conceding a goal, they'd be the first team in the history of the Euros to do that. So there's something we can.
That's nice.
Garrick, what do you?
Yep.
Garrick, how do you rate Denmark? Do you think they were a side that causes problems?
I think they've grown a lot across the tournament ever since that Eriksen thing happened. It seems like they've built on it, which shows the togetherness they have in their team. I think they're going to be harder than what we think, so I don't think we should get ahead of ourselves. I'm not saying we'll lose, but I'm saying we shouldn't get ahead of ourselves. They're going to be tough. We could definitely concede, but this is like any game. We got to take it game by game, and take them as a good team. Play against them like they're a very good team. And I see, if I'm going prediction-wise, it's going to be close. It might be 1-0, 2-1. I see that potentially going to extra time. But at this part of the tournament, games are a lot closer than you think they'll be. It's got to that point where almost anything can happen.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. It's anyone's game, really. I think regardless if we get into the final, if we do get there, of course. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. Baker, do you know... Well, according to this guy, he knows you, Jacob Alali.
Yes, we used to wait back for signatures after the Borough game every week. Yeah.
Ah, right. Okay, then. Liam, we'll come to you next, I think. Okay, he's actually chose to mute himself, so I couldn't unmute him. Anyways, we'll come now.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah. What do you think will happen against Denmark?
I mean, we obviously go into this as favourites. We can't take Denmark lightly. Like you've all said, they're playing it for Christian Eriksen. They're playing it for their country, and I got to say they have done very well this tournament. Obviously they're the underdogs going into this, so it's basically a free shot for them. It's basically, can they beat England? Can they beat us? And can they send us out the tournament? And it'd be more semi-final heartbreaks that we don't want. And I reckon we can win this game. I reckon it's whether we can keep a clean sheet and whether we can go into the final without conceding a goal. But I like I said, like you lot have been saying, Denmark, I think they will score. It's whether they can. I reckon if they do score, it's probably going to go through Dolberg or Miguel Damsgaard, whatever his name is, Damsgaard, and apart from that, Damsgaard, yeah. Apart from that, if they don't score through them two, I don't see them winning. If I had to say a prediction, I'd go 2-0 or 2-1. If I'd have to pick, I'd go 2-0.
Ah, right, interesting. Yeah, I think we all know that Denmark, they're a bit of a strange side, really. They have some good performances and then they have some bad performances, and it's the same with England, really. I don't think defensively they're particularly good. I know defensively we've been pretty solid for most of the campaign. I do think there's been times, especially in the group stage, where we've been lucky not to concede, and obviously Owen mentioned earlier on that chance from Thomas Muller that somehow he didn't score. I still don't know how he managed to do that. But Fiwa Bush in the chat, or Jacob, thought to recognise you, Baker, of course. Right, well, we'll go off to you in a moment, but very briefly, who do you think we're going to come up against in the finals? Italy. Just anyone can go anytime.
Italy.
Don't need an explanation. Don't really need an explanation. Just Italy or Spain. I think it'll be Italy.
Definitely.
So we're all saying Italy, really, aren't we?
Yep.
So,
yeah.
Yep. Oh dear. All right. Before we go on to the next thing, the other day I went to the shop and I was asked to pick up 6 cans of Sprite. Only when I got home I realised I picked 7. No.
7. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes. And for the regulars, today's can of Iron Brew is open up your nose.
Up your nose.
I still don't know how my dad came out with that. Then again, Baker's met my dad in real life, so he knows how mad my dad is. Yeah. And people say I don't know where people say to me, I don't know where you get these silly jokes from. Dad, probably. Anyways, right, on to the next thing. Now, a big one that was made, I think 2 days ago, actually, was Jadon Sancho going to Manchester United, which, for me, like Liam, is a massive talking point. Because we all follow United. We all follow United. No, I'm not going to start singing.
No.
Anyways, well, in truth, it's a big sign for United. It's a sign that we needed all along, because we needed a proper white man who can really challenge the likes of Greenwood and Dan James. Because for me, I don't know if we're going to see Mason Greenwood starting too many these days, especially now Sancho's here. Who wants to go first?
I don't.
Actually, leave me go, man.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't see Mason Greenwood getting many chances against. I don't see Mason Greenwood starting many games, to be honest with you. He'd probably start the cup games. He'd probably start the Champions League games or FA Cup games or Carabao Cup games, whatever cup. To be honest, I see Sancho starting every league game because he is brilliant. He played for Dortmund, as Dal says, the worst team in the Bundesliga.
No, they're the banter team.
Yeah, they are. Yes, they are. I don't see Mason Greenwood getting much of a chance with Sancho. I see Sancho starting every game, unless he gets injured. Let's hope he don't get injured. And I do see Sancho scoring a couple of goals. To be honest with you, it's whether he'll get the service from the players like Cavani, Rashford. But knowing Rashford, he won't get the ball to Sancho because he's ball greedy, isn't he, Dal?
Well, probably, yeah. Yeah. Rashford's very ball greedy. Just to let you know, by the way, I'll get that off. Just as we speak, by the way, the DFB Pokal first round draw is going to be made in a moment. I'll be keeping up to date to see what actually goes on with that, because that's quite important for Bayern specifically. Owen, what's on this Sancho deal? I think it's been one that we've been waiting for ages, really, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It took long enough.
Well, I think, I mean, we've known about it since like last year. It should have probably got done last year, but obviously Ed Woodward, moths fly out of his wallet whenever he goes to pay for anything, Ed Woodward. So I'm not surprised it's taking this long. But yeah, I think he's a great signing. I've got to be honest. I think the right side of our team was crying out for someone like Jadon Sancho. Now we'll probably see Ollie play him on the left or something, but who knows? Hopefully he won't do that. I think there's still not enough for us to challenge. We still need a defensive midfielder, because I'm sorry, but Fred and McTominay is a banter midfield, especially going up against someone like Liverpool with Fabinho or City with Rodri and Fernandinho. So if we're going to challenge for that with them, there's no chance. We've got no chance if we get McTominay and Fred in there. Even though Fred's been doing all right in the Copa America. I still think that we definitely need to improve in that area. And if we get Varane, which I'm still quite skeptical about it, because it seems too good to be true, I think we can challenge. But on Sancho, last night he showed a few glimpses of what he's capable of, and if he does that consistently for us, then we're in for a entertaining season. Put it that way, we're in for a entertaining few performances. But I said we win the league next year. Hopefully Sancho will be a big part of
that. You're just too good to be true. No. Okay. Right. I'll stop. I don't know who. I'll tell you what. We'll go to Garrick first. Garrick's just going on. I know you're not a United fan, Brighton fan, obviously, but you Jadon Sancho in any way coming up against your team?
Wait, sorry, the audio thing crashed. What did you ask?
I said, do you fear Jadon Sancho coming up? So, is he going to be like the most attacking threat, basic terms?
I think we've got to, considering his stats for Dortmund and how promising he looks. He's obviously going to develop a lot more now moving to United, and obviously just getting older as well, getting closer to the peak. We got to. And United will probably be a stronger team to play against next season. So we got to take care. We got to identify weaknesses and work from there.
Yeah, true. Baker, I'd say that. Liam's gone. Bye bye. To be honest with you, it's probably the same question, really. You being an Arsenal fan, are you worried about Jadon Sancho against the likes of I can't remember left back is Kieran Tierney, etc.?
Don't get me wrong. I think he's going to be a fantastic signing for Man United, and I'm not surprised it's happened because, as Owen said, we've been hearing about this transfer for the last year and a half now, so I'm not surprised it's happened. I think it will strengthen United massively, because I think when you look at who they've got now, Dan James, I don't think he's really the greatest option. Mason Greenwood, is he at the level United should be playing at? I don't think so. And I think that right left position, wherever he's going to play, that is a position Man United have needed another winger, and I think he will strengthen them massively, and I think he will be a tougher opponent to play against if he hits the ground running.
Yeah, he made some valid points made by all three of you there. Especially on the left and right hand side. I mean, it's an area. I mean, Owen will probably say something, but it's an area we've needed improvement as centre back as well, isn't it?
Yeah, we have been. We've been pretty suspect down the right. The left-hand side is where most of our goals come from. With obviously Luke Shaw, as we saw yesterday, and obviously Rashford. When Rashford actually gets his shooting boots on, we actually do score most of our goals down the left. With obviously Wan-Bissaka, defending he's great, but I think I heard someone say before that going forward it's like a goldfish trying to ride a bike. Wan-Bissaka. I think he's. We need someone down the right who can actually attack and make the overlapping runs. So yeah, I think it's important, but as I said, more work to do in the transfer window, I think.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. Welcome, Keaton James, by the way. Thank you very much for joining us. Get your comments in the live chat, by the way, of course, Lynn. And like the stream as well. DFB Podcast Draw is starting in a moment from me on here. So I'm going to find out who plays who. Well, no, I'll find out in a couple of minutes. But in the meantime, we spoke a bit about Sancho. A few managers have been coming this week. Nuno, who I didn't think was going to leave Wolves anyway, has decided to go to Tottenham Hotspurs. I hope he enjoys his trip to Slovakia and plays against the train going through the stadium in the league, as I call it. And another interesting one that's I think a big one today is former Arsenal player Patrick Vieira has decided to take charge of Crystal Palace. And who else was the other one? Tim Lowe has left Germany, obviously. He's now replaced with Hansi Flick. Julian Nagelsmann's now Bayern manager officially. I can't remember. Rafa Benitez, former Liverpool manager, going to the club that he described as a small club. Liverpool. I don't think he'll be wanting to say that now, really. What are you guys' thoughts on these managerial? Let's start off different. We'll start off with Garrick this time.
It's not the best decision if you're thinking about the fans, to be honest. We've seen, I've heard a lot of stuff from Everton fans how it is not really welcomed by what I've heard. If you're looking on a fan perspective, it's the completely wrong decision. But don't get me wrong, he's a good manager, but probably not the best idea for Everton to appoint him.
Yeah. Hang on, let me just change this. Baker, anything you want to say about this?
Personally, I can't say anything, but I think he's a very good appointment for Everton. I think they've lost Ancelotti, who's a good manager in himself, but I think for Everton to keep their status as a team and want to be pushing for the Europa League, maybe even Champions League, I think they've got to get that high-profile manager. And I think Benitez is a really good appointment because I think he's a good manager. He's got the Premier League experience. I think you've just got to look at what he's done at Newcastle. I think without any disrespect, I think they finished 10th with Joselu up top. So he has done a very good job in the Premier League. Obviously, Liverpool, Everton's rivals, done a superb job there. But if I was the Everton fans, I'd be getting behind him and thinking he's a fantastic appointment. He can take us places.
Yeah, he made a valid point there. Owen, are you still there? Just disappeared a minute. Oh, never mind. I'll see if Owen comes back anytime. Yeah, valid point. I think the Rafa Benitez one's probably the most controversial one. Patrick Vieira, though, going to Crystal Palace, that was a bit of an eye-catching one, because it's I'm pretty certain the rivals with Arsenal because it's a London club. Difference is you're usually in North, they're like Southwest London or something like that. They're in Croydon, so it's interesting now. Patrick Vieira decided to go from being an Arsenal player to, later in the years, now being the Crystal Palace manager. Also, the same, by the way, for Garrick as well, because I just remembered you've got whatever it is called, Derby. Whatever it's called, Derby. I can't remember. Oh, Owen's back.
Hello.
I was just going to say, did you catch what you two lads had said about Rafa Benitez?
Yeah, I have to concur. I think, like Garrick was saying, for the fans, it's a bit of a weird one. I've got to be honest. But Fahad Mashiri is a bit of a weird owner, so I guess it goes hand in hand. I think Rafa Benitez he's a very good manager. I mean, he's with Newcastle, he overachieved with them massively. If you look at the players they had, You know, I have no doubt he could do it well for Everton, but Everton have the same problem with which we saw with Carlo Ancelotti. As soon as a manager becomes really good at Everton, a big club could just easily come in and swoop in. So if the same thing happens with Rafa Benitez, what happens then?
Yeah.
You know, like it's like Everton, like they say, oh, we're building a project, but as soon as Real Madrid come in for their manager, or even like probably a bigger Premier League club, they're gone. And so that's the problem that Everton have, I think. They're a victim of their sort of the fact that as a club, their notoriety, you know, isn't as big as sort of you know, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United, Liverpool, whatever. I think with Vieira, I have a feeling. It's not really based off much, but my feeling is Vieira is going to flop at Palace, and I honestly don't know why I'm saying that, but I just have a feeling it's not going to go well. They got in Frank de Boer, I remember, and he stunk out the place. I think he was gone within about 60 days or whatever it was. So, you know, I'm a bit worried. But whenever former players start managing, sometimes it goes well, but often it doesn't. I think Vieira, unfortunately for him, it might not go well. But I mean, maybe fortunately for Garrick, I don't know. He'd probably love to see Palace up Shit's Creek, but you know.
And Frank de Boer, obviously, as you mentioned, I mean, he got sacked from the Netherlands.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, the Netherlands fans must have known him as Owen. So there you go. I mean, some of the football Netherlands played were quite good, but yeah, the Benitez one's a very strange one when it's a former Liverpool manager who had a massive dislike for Everton, and he decided to go to Everton, but. Ancelotti leaving, I thought, was also a bit controversial. He did say he was going to stay on, but I think it's one of them things, really, regardless. If a club like Barcelona, Real Madrid, etc., comes up and says, "Oh, we'd like to offer you the job," you're not likely to decline it, are you?
No.
You know, you're not gonna decline a humongous club with Champions League success just to stay at a club that can't even get far. So. I mean, I'd rather be to Real Madrid any day of the week, but it'd be a bit of a journey to do that. I'm not going to lie. Right, we'll just talk about our own teams for a minute. Arsenal. I mean, wasn't there some guy, wasn't it? You signed the other day. I can't remember his name.
Did we sign anyone?
I'm pretty certain you did. I might have been the wrong club.
Yeah, I don't think we've signed anyone yet.
I might be thinking of the wrong team.
Also have that left back that they're about to sign, don't they? What's his name? Tavares or something?
Yeah, Tavares. That's the guy.
Tavares, yeah.
Is that Tavares guy? And I know you didn't sign it, but Hector Bellerin could be leaving to go to Inter Milan, actually. So they're looking to replace Hakimi. Tierney signed a new deal, which is an important one for them. But have you seen much of this Tavares? Because I haven't seen much of him.
No.
I'm not going to lie. I don't really know much about him. I think you mentioned Bellerin could leave. It's not a move I'd potentially be heartbroken about. I think it's probably a good move for him if he goes now. Tierney, I'm delighted he signed a new contract. But with Arsenal this year, I think it's going to be a tricky one because we finished 8th or 7th, whatever it was. We aren't in a European competition, so that pull factor is going to be very tricky for us, I think. And I know we've been rumoured to go for Ben White. I think he would be a good signing alongside Gabriel at the back. I think he would work very well. Potentially a midfielder. I think Saka and Smith Rowe play a big role next season. But I think hopefully for Arsenal, our focus is getting back in Europe.
Yeah, I mean, getting into Europe's important for Arsenal, but you've had a poor season. I'm not going to lie, I'm surprised you actually finished in the top 10 with how you've played for most of the season. No lie, I'm not going to lie. That's literally what I thought. I thought you was going to finish like 12th or something, but I suppose the positive for you finished above Leeds, so there's something for you.
Yeah. think we finished above Tottenham as well, or did we? I'm not sure, but
No,
we were only
Tottenham finished.
Yeah.
Tottenham got in the Conference League and news didn't. Last day
There's
of the
only
season, he messed it up.
There's only a point in it though. In the end, when they were rumoured to be winning the
Oh, yeah, in
league
the
to
end,
start that season.
Yeah, that one, yeah. Very quickly, Garrick, any transfer news regarding Brighton?
There was one player we signed for the under-23s, but not really anything else. Obviously, we've heard about White possibly leaving. I've heard from local sources that apparently it's fake, but I'm obviously not sure on that. I am pretty sure that clubs in the Premier League are looking at him. Whether they've actually made the offer, whether it's genuine, I don't know. Obviously, nothing's gone through yet, but that's what we'll find out in the near future. But I haven't heard any news about players coming in. As usual, because Brighton do seem to keep things under wraps until we go and do something. So, nothing to report.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. I just found out that the draw is currently being made in the DFB Pokal, and Bayern have been. Hang on a second. Bayern have just been drawn against a team called Bremer SV, which is a team based in Bremen, and they play in the Bremen Liga, which is the 5th tier of German football. That should be a straightforward 8-0, that.
So Bayern are out then.
Nah, I don't think so. The match should be through, really. It should be a simple game, that. Braunschweiger against Hamburger, that's all I needed to know, really. Okay, well, they were like the sixth draw, so that's how. Yeah, easy enough for Bayern. I tell you what, though, I was interested when I found out Julian Nagelsmann was going to take over from Bayern, and a lot of the people who hate the Bundesliga anyway were just going off it, saying, "Oh, Bayern just signed the best manager, blah blah blah, this, that, and the other." Now, the reason Julian Nagelsmann is he wanted to go to Bayern because, well, Munich is his home city. That's where he was born. He was born in Munich. So he's Munich born and bred. And that's why he's gone to Bayern, because Bayern is his childhood club, really. So I'm not surprised he's gone to Bayern, but I think it's a good one. But Hansi Flick going into the Germany national team, I think that'll be interesting. I don't think he'll do as well as Joachim Löw did in his time, but we'll see how that one goes. Owen, I mean, I don't think there's much more transfer news for United other than probably for Varane, Sancho, obviously. Tom Heaton, I don't know why we brought him back. I thought that was a bit of a questionable signing.
Big name signing.
Yeah, isn't it just? I thought it was a very strange signing, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, I think Tom Heaton is all it is. The significance of Tom going to be the fact that one of De Gea and Dean Henderson will be leaving probably. That's what it means. Tom Heaton won't really play that much. When Lee Grant came in, the most he ever did for United was hold up the near the end of the game. That's pretty much his biggest performance for United. But I think the other rumours, probably there was an Aaron Barry for a bit who plays in La Liga, the CDM, but I mean that's gone quiet. I think a lot of players obviously using United to try and get new contracts. At the moment, Varane's the only real concrete thing. Heaton, yeah, I'm struggling, Darryl. To be honest, I'm struggling. I can't think of any other like of a different sort of little things where it's like Declan Rice, but I think Declan Rice doing his price tag
No.
But I mean, Declan Rice gets talked about a bit.
Yeah.
But apart from, he's gone a bit quiet for midfielders.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I prefer Muller's Rice to Declan Rice. I'm not going to lie. Oh dear. By the way, before we go on to the next thing, do you know what a goalkeeper's favourite snack is? Beans on toast. Oh dear. Thank you. Right. Oh dear. There's another joke to add to the collection of bad jokes I've said today. Okay. I'm trying to think what was the next thing I was going to say. Oh yeah, we're going to talk about Italy, Spain for a bit. I know we spoke a bit about the Euros. I just couldn't remember what I was actually going to say, but there you go. Italy, Spain. I mean, whoever wins that will take on either England or Denmark in the final. And for me, we all know we all said Italy probably go through, but how do you see the game going? For me, I think it's two very attacking teams against two terrible defences. And again, I wouldn't say Italy's is that bad, but Spain's defence is a bit all over the place, I'm not going to lie. Oh dear.
Well,
We've got thunder over here. Yeah, we've got thunder over here. Oh dear. It's ideal, isn't it? But
it's on the way.
Yeah, I was saying at the start, I don't know why I called it Sunday. It's rain day instead over here. Anyway, excuse me. Yeah, there's on. Right. So, how do you guys see the Italy-Spain going? I know we've all said Italy will probably win, but I think if you look at the two sides, Spain defensively are probably worse, but they can score goals, same as Italy. So it's one of them things. Who wants to go first?
Sure.
You can go first, Gary.
All right. Go ahead.
At first, I see an Italy win. We've obviously seen their tactics, especially near the end of the game. Annoying tactics, but they worked, which is a sad reality of football nowadays. But it happens, and unless we stamp it out, obviously, it's going to happen. But Italy defensively have proven to be really good. Like, one goal conceded in the past, 12 games is it? I guess you can correct me on that, Daryl. But yeah, defensively they've been great, Chiellini, Bonucci. But I think they were seen at the beginning of the tournament as they weren't seen as a big contender to win it, but they obviously proven a lot of people wrong. But I saw it after the first game that they could do well here. But yeah, Italy win. I think it will go like maybe 2-0 after 90 minutes.
Yeah. What was it you wanted clearing up?
How many games has it been where they've only conceded one goal?
Well, they'd gone 5 games without conceding a goal. So he didn't concede against Wales, Switzerland, or Turkey, and then they played against. Who did they play in the round? No, it's 4 games. Sorry, they played somebody in the round of 16s, didn't they? No, Austria. So no, 3 games, but they haven't actually conceded a goal. And in the round of 16s in the quarters, they've conceded 2 goals.
Oh, all right.
I had to think about that for a minute. But yeah, we're still the side who haven't conceded a single goal in the tournament.
Yeah.
Which is
and that could be
which
crucial.
no one, by the way, no one's ever won a Euros without conceding. So could be England, yeah, we never know. But Denmark will be up for that game, really will be. Spain are a good side, but I think Owen, it's just their defence that's lacking, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the thing with Spain. They leak like a sieve. They're all right, going forward, but they're all right going forward. But yeah, as I said, they're defensively a bit of a horror show. I think. Croatia scored 3 past them. Who else? I mean, Sweden should have scored past them. Pretty much every team they played should have scored past them, and they didn't. And they've got away with it a few times. I think the only thing that Spain have is they've managed just to get through games somehow, and they're sort of aren't going under the radar. Sometimes, it's like Portugal in 2016. They sort of like went under the radar and just suddenly came through and won it. So, I wouldn't be shocked if that happened, but Italy overall are a better team and they have much more momentum than Spain. Spain's only real chance, I think, is to take it to penalties. Take it to penalties, then just, hope they can hold their nerve. But yeah, I don't see anything other than Italy win, but knowing this tournament, that usually means that the opposite will happen. So, you never know. And then it's basically that game for me is basically whoever gets the honour of being beaten by England at Wembley in the final.
Yeah. But I'll do the pun, thanks.
Oh yeah, no, Darryl, you got to allow me that one, surely.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad one. I mean, you were just straining that one, weren't you?
Yeah. Oh,
there you go.
Always a laugh. Always a laugh.
You know me by now. Baker, your verdict on this?
I think Spain have looked a decent side at times. They've whipped crosses in, and that's been one of their most dangerous points. I think Italy, I'd say Italy would be the favourites going into this game, but like any side that's playing in the quarter-final, I think every side's mentality will be, right, we've come this far, let's make it count and go on and get to the final and win it. I think that will be the mentality of every team. They've come this far, therefore they're settling for nothing but the final.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think Italy would settle for anything less, really. But I will just say, by the way, some stuff I know, by the way, that Denmark haven't reached the semi-finals since they won it in 1992. England haven't reached the semi since 1996. And also Spain are the most successful team in the Euros. So I think regardless of who England get in the final, if we get to that stage, then we'll be in for a tough game. But I think... Personally, I'd take on Italy. I know a lot of people are wanting Spain because we would beat Spain, to be honest, probably with the fact that their defence is awful. But I want Italy, to be honest with you, because they'll probably give us a much better game. Oh dear! Oh, Dortmund have just come up against a third division side. Oh, I forgot. I wanted them to come up against Leipzig and then to get knocked out. There you go, it's one of them things. I don't know if there's much more really to say, to be honest with you. I think we've gone through practically everything that we need to talk about. So I think we'll probably whip it up here, actually. About 55-minute stream, so that's not too bad. But yeah, that'll be, gentlemen. Thank you those who've joined. Sorry, I didn't get to your comments, by the way. Hello, Mia. And Varane is heating up, says Adam Talk Sport. Yep, we know about that. We've mentioned Varane. Liam, by the way, has obviously had to disappear. I think his mic's just been playing up. It wasn't playing up early on when I was on his stream, which is funny. But it was playing up for some reason. So, but thanks to him for coming on anyway. Owen, thanks for joining us. I know you were a bit late, but
yeah.
No,
thanks for having me. Yeah, thanks for having me. Cheers, guys.
Yeah. Garrick, great to see you once again. Cheers for coming on as usual.
Having me on.
And Baker, it's been a pleasure, mate.
Thanks for having me on, Dazza.
Yep. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. This is the final episode of This Week in Football. Episode 9 won't be coming until the 23rd of July when I'm back from me holiday celebrating my 19th birthday. But don't forget to join me on Tuesday night and Wednesday night. I'll be doing both semi-finals, Italy, Spain, and Denmark, England. But from all four of us, thank you very much for your support recently and have a very nice day. Good afternoon to you.
All right, goodbye.